Alright, what's up guys? It's been a little while since I made a video. Life's been a little bit hectic. I had my whole office flood, which had like my computer and camera and everything in there, and so that was a whole thing to get to deal with. But anyway, back, gonna make another video. Gonna do a basic mod on the car this time, and so I've got the Sprint performance filter showed up a few days ago, and so I figured I'll go ahead and go through the install process on that. I also wanted to talk a little bit about what my future plans are for the car, and that should be pretty cool actually. So let's go ahead and get into the filter. So if you haven't seen it, this is what a Sprint filter looks like. This is a non-oiled filter that will just drop in where the OEM filter was. Really nothing crazy to see here, and it should be a pretty easy installation, but let's do it. Okay, so the first move is going to be just getting the cover, engine cover here off. So you gotta get here, 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 here. So break these loose, get them off. These are 7 mils. Okay, so I should be able to look at this and get this all to pop out. Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah, that's super easy. Okay. So that's the move, right? So there's just a couple of little places where this clamps in, rubber mounts. Move that out of the way. Okay, let's go ahead and clip a couple of these guys and just give ourselves a little more room. Do that on both sides. Okay, so it looks like if you come on either side, if you're doing this by yourself, lift up here, there's a rubber grommet that'll come out. Come over here and do the same thing on the other side. That rubber grommet comes out, and then it looks like this should. Okay, so it took me a minute just to figure this out, but yeah, if you lift this piece up, there's a lower section to it, right? And you just pull that backwards on either side. There you go. That'll break this loose. And that can come out from the front. Being mindful of everything else that's in the way. And then that's it. Alright, so this is that whole assembly out of the car. Just pop that out here. So yeah, nothing crazy there. And so we'll take this new filter, drop that in. So I just want to make sure that I set this correctly. So here's the new Sprint filter in, and then I just need to reinstall. So far this hasn't been bad. I'm curious what this is going to be like in reverse. Usually it's easier to pull a car apart than to put it back together, but I don't know. First time working on a Ferrari engine, and the air filter's not too bad. Okay, so there is one thing I'm not so sure how it's going to line up, but if you look at the back of this box, and hopefully you can see this, there are a couple of these clips back here. So there is a line that runs back here behind where this piece of the air box goes back in, and so we'll see how difficult that is to hook back up, just because it's kind of hard to actually access anything back there, but should be okay. It looks like they mostly should face downwards, and then we should be good. Oh yeah. Getting this back in is a lot easier than taking it out in the first place. So I'm just trying to make sure that this piece back here is reseated correctly. Alright, so this side did not come off as expected. There's this grommet in here. Looks like it faces downwards. Awesome. Anyway, this needs to pop into here. There. So now that this is seated correctly in these, I can get this to seal a little bit better. And then we should be good. So what I am going to do differently this time is I'm going to lift this up. I'm going to get this back there, and before I seat anything down, I'm going to make sure that these hooks are in the back correctly. Okay, that's all in correctly. So now if I were to lift this up, it's kind of attached. It's at least attached in the back. Make sure both of these clamps in the back are facing down. And I'm going to hook them onto that line back there so that nothing is loose that wasn't loose before. Okay, those are rehooked. That is good for this side. That looks seated in the back. It seems solid. Let's go ahead and get some of this stuff reattached. So we'll go ahead and take this piece, reattach. There's a couple of grommets here. Everything's in here good. This line, this one, same thing on the other side. So we only do that for a little bit of wiggle room. This piece is actually nicer than I thought it was going to be from the videos. It's got like sound deadening in here, and it's just generally a nicer piece than I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be super cheap plastic. That piece aligned, and then get these two aligned. It's in there nice and clean, and that's it. Alright, so that is the Sprint filter installation on a 2019 Giulia Quadrifoglio. This is the first modification that I've actually done to the car myself, under the hood at least. And so that was kind of cool. You know, I did the steering wheel and everything like that, but first performance mod that I've done to the car. I'll take it out, take it for a spin, make sure I hooked everything up correctly, which I only unplugged the 4 things, so we should be good there. I'll let you guys know if I think there's any difference in sound or anything like that, but you know, just if you need to replace a filter, this is a quick how-to on how to do that. And yeah, so I'll come back to this video, let you guys know my initial impressions, and we'll talk about what's next for my Quadrifoglio. Okay, so it's the next day. I've got the car started up, seems to be all good. So let's give it a couple revs and see if we can tell any difference from a standstill in the way that the car sounds. So, not really getting a ton of induction noise difference, but you know, it is just a small air filter change. Cool. Alright, so this is the thing that I'm most excited about right now. So this is kind of a two-parter, but well, we'll show this, and then I think in the next video we'll talk a little bit more about what's going on here. So yeah, these guys are what we will talk about a little bit more in the next video. But this is going to be a substantial change to the car, and it should be really sweet. So these are the Super Sprint downpipes for the Giulia Quadrifoglio. As with everything else, got these from Alfissimo International. They'll be going on the car pretty soon. I'm going to try out a new shop here, a new to me shop here. And you know, it's I have the ability to install this, I just don't have the time, right? So I think it'd be a lot more interesting to do a DIY install of the downpipes here, but I don't have the tools I need to make it a job that is as fast as I want it to be. So, alright, so that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully the filter how-to was helpful for folks. Excited to get these downpipes on the car. There is more coming with this, and so I'll do another video really soon about what this whole process of downpipes and supporting mods is going to look like. And I'll talk a little bit about my goals and stuff. But for the most part, my general plan is, as has always been with this car, I want to have a pretty OEM plus Quadrifoglio. So not going to go crazy with it, but I'm going to do a few things here and there to make it mine, make it tastefully done, but maybe a little louder, a little bit more exciting. Hard to imagine saying that about a 505 horsepower like super sedan, but. And also, let me go ahead and get this out there now. I'm going to be making videos more regularly. Look for me to be posting at a minimum every other week. So this video is probably going to go up on Monday, and then I don't know what day of the week I'm going to post. I'll try to be regular about that too, but it is important to me to start making content more regularly, and so this is my way of having you all hold me accountable to that. Whew. Got a lot more work to do on this car to finish things up, but still super happy with it. We'll talk more about those plans soon. Alright, thanks again for watching. See you guys.